guys, it's me again. So it is Monday today and I am busy potting up some of my tomatoes. Now I should have done this maybe a couple of weeks ago because the leaves are turning yellow, which is a sure sign that they've run out of food and everything and the little bit of compost they were in. But also one of them's got a bit funny. I would have chucked this away thinking it was a demic and the seed was something wrong with it, but I saw on Facebook that there are different types of leaves on tomato plants which I didn't know, and you can get some called potato leaf tomato plants, whereas they're more round than spiky. I will show you now. So I've potted them up already, and as you can see, look, it's going yet. Oh, there we go, it's come off. They're running out of nutrients. I've planted them all the way down to the bottom here. I planted the stem, these were a lot taller than this. Look at that. What is that compared to, you know, a tomato leaf? That, and it apparently that is a potato leaf tomato. So I'm going to leave it and see what it does. It's not doing any harm. See if it comes to anything. This is a variety called Rainbow. I've never grown it before. It's a mixture of different colours, so we'll see what comes of it. It's looking a bit like a jungle in my house at the moment. Everything's taken off. I've got some honeycomb tomatoes here that I've just potted on. I had 5 of those seeds, 5 are germinated. This here is bee balm, and these have been teeny tiny for ages. I grew these ages, they've been in these pots for ages, and after the sun on Saturday they started to shoot off. And I just think everything is desperate for some sunshine. You know, I'm not saying that it's been cold, but it's been miserable and raining and damp, and I think the plants are just wanting a bit of sunshine. I was really panicking about my garlic because they're still teeny tiny. The green foliage isn't doing much. I've given them a feed. I've given them 2 feeds actually. One was chicken manure pellets, so that's a slow release one for about 6 weeks, and then I gave them an instant feed as well, water, and weeded it. And then when I went back there today quickly to have a look if everything was okay, I have noticed a bit of a difference, and again I think it's because of the sunshine on Saturday, but everything is struggling at the moment. So when you're repotting your tomatoes, just remember, plant them as deep as you want. You can plant them right up to those leaves. If there's any leaves below though, take them off because they cause rotting and you don't want that in your soil. It might turn into a fungus. If I was potting this on right up to the top there, I would take this tiny little baby leaf, see it? I would take that off and pot it up to there. These are my Cape gooseberries, and I think this was like a 2nd or 3rd sowing. It was the 2nd sowing that I thought hadn't made it, so I sowed again. All those came up, and then all of a sudden these are grown. These are doing better than the ones that I potted on. So there's my Crimson Crush, absolutely nothing. 3 sowings. I have got no more seed, but I did buy them on sale, so maybe that's why nothing has come to them. I planted some daisies in here. That's it, that's all I got. And some Mexican marigolds because I'm growing the Mexican marigolds to try and help with the couch grass. I've grown a load of different varieties of tomatoes, and they won't be for the actual tomatoes itself. I just want the plants because apparently the couch grass doesn't like the tomato plant roots, and I've got loads of couch grass in my old side of the allotment I want to try and get rid of, and I got those seeds for free from Seed Parade. I was ordering some other stuff, they had a seed sale on, and I have got them for free or really cheap, like 10p. So I've sown loads of tomatoes, but not to grow on. I will. These rainbow ones are going in the polytunnel, and then the rest of them will go in pots around on my dad's patio. Maybe I'll plant some at the allotment to grow on, but the ones mainly that I have got for the allotment are hopefully to try and get rid of the Courgettes. So because the chilies didn't work out very well, I had some sweet pepper seeds, so I thought I'll just chuck them in, and I've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've got 2 big ones that I've managed to overwinter, and they're getting flowers already. I need to pot them on. And then here, these funny little ones here are called strawberry sticks. It's a fruit. I have never grown it before. Apparently it's best eaten fresh. I think maybe the water content is so high, a bit like cucumber, they just don't freeze very well. But I'm thinking maybe I could make something with them, like jam. We'll see what they taste like first. Or even if they survive. Let's hope they survive. And then I've got a little caped gooseberry in the front there. I have got loads of herbs here. This is a little cake muffin thing that I had that I used as a propagator. These herbs, I've got coriander, I've got loads of basil, and I've got dill. And I did plant something else here. I'm not sure what, but nothing's germinated. Growing some nasturtiums. I've got loads of nasturtiums on my plot. Absolutely love them. You can eat the flowers, you can eat the seeds. I love pickling the seeds in a bit of vinegar and turmeric, and they're like poor man's capers. You know me, I like anything pickled, but oh, gorgeous. So this one here, I've got 2 varieties. One is called Bloody Mary that I tried to grow last year, and don't know, I might have one that's trying to grow there, maybe. And I've got Ladybird Rose, and I've got a few of them. But you can tell they're nasturtiums by the little, don't know, they look like little feet, don't they? Like little duck's feet, or baby little lily pads. So these are my courgettes. Look at them. I have got 4 yellow courgettes. I've had 100% germination. I planted 4, I got 4. I've got tricolour one, which were the ball ones, and I planted 2 of them. I've got 2 of them. And then I planted 4 yellow patty pan. I think they might have been mixed actually. And none of them have germinated. Oh, they're starting. Okay, so the patty pan maybe take a little bit longer. So yeah, I've got 2 there out of 4 so far germinating. Courgettes grow really, really quick, and I don't know if you can see that, but can you see that there? Those are the roots already. Amazing. So I think they send the roots down and then they pop the little heads out. Oh, so exciting. So I've grown these now because they don't mind it a little bit cooler. I think I was a little bit early. Maybe that's what I've been going wrong, because I've been planting the courgettes really early and putting them out really early because they don't mind the cold. So even before the last frost, I planted them quite late because I thought they needed a bit of heat. So I planted these a bit later. I'm going to plant them out a bit later. These are my peas. But these are not for growing into peas. These are going to be eaten like pea shoots. And these are the peas that I use. Just a box of dried peas. You get hundreds in here. This box cost me 50p. I'm not sure how much they are. And I think if you carried on growing them, you would get some kind of pea on it. But yeah, I just use these for pea shoots. Yeah, so it's really easy to grow your own pea shoots. Just grab a box of these dried peas. They're marrowfat dried peas. These are bigger ones, bachelor's bigger, and I just ram them in there, and you just pick them as you want. That's a pea shoot. I don't quite like those springy bits, but that is your pea shoot. Gorgeous. Really strong pea flavour. And by doing it this way, it's loads cheaper than buying seeds. And there we go, and that's what I'm up to on the veg front at the moment. So some things doing really well, some things not doing so well, but I'm early enough. I'm going to keep re-sowing. If I've got spares, then I can give them away. Yeah, hopefully I'll have a bit more success this year. Hi guys, me again. It is Tuesday today and we're going to be doing some cooking. I've been really busy making something for my son's school. And yesterday I finished it, yay! Yeah, that's what I've been up to. It's just been not stressful, just a lot of work. And I'm hoping, I took it in this morning and I'm hoping that they like it. They're going to have a look. I didn't want them to see it while I was there. I get really nervous. I don't think anything that I do is good enough. I need a bit more confidence in myself. But I've heard nothing from the school, so I'm hoping that is a good sign, or they just haven't had time to check it. So hopefully when I go and pick my son up from school that they like it and there's nothing else to add to it. But I did say I could change it and add stuff to it if they needed it, if they weren't happy with it. So fingers crossed. So I'm just going to do some meal prep now. I was going to go and take my dad shopping today. He was like, right, I'm getting out of the house, I'm going shopping. Yes, great, let's go. Same old story, I've gone there today, he's feeling ill, he can't get out of bed. So he's going to have an Asda order tomorrow. We'll just see how that goes. So anyway, I am doing some meal prep. I have followed a guy called Miguel Barclay, I'm not sure, something like that. I'll put his name in the description below so you can have a look. And he's on Facebook and he's got loads of cooking books. I think he's got a new book coming out in May where he does £1 meals. I just think some of his recipes are really good. They're really simple. And I was looking at some of them yesterday for a bit of inspiration because you know, sometimes you just get a bit flat, don't you, and have the same meals all the time. With the prices going up and everything at the moment, I'm looking for cheaper meals to cook. So if you're looking for cheaper, different ideas for food, go and have a look. He's ace. So yeah, I'm just going to do some meal prep now for later. So I want some rice. So I'm going to soak some rice now because then it won't take as long to cook later. And I'm just going to do a cup and a half. I usually have rice in the freezer, but we haven't got any at the moment, so I'll do some extra and freeze it. So I've just put some cold water on that and I'm going to leave that. And then I also want some Greek style yogurt that I'm going to make with my natural yogurt. I was going to do this last night because I'm really enjoying it when it's a lot thicker, but I completely forgot by the time I'd finished that thing last night. And I was doing some potting on my tomatoes and planting some more seeds and oh yeah, just messing around. It got really late and I forgot, so never mind, this will be fine for later. It does strain quite quickly. So I've got my cheesecloth in my sieve and then in a bowl, and then I catch all the liquid. You can use the liquid in cooking, but I don't, or I haven't yet. Now then, if the liquid that comes out of it is really like white and milky, you know it's not straining good enough. You need to put more cheesecloth in, and I think I've got like 4 or 5 layers there. Then I just cover it up and leave it to settle, and that is my meal prep done. I am going to be making something gorgeous, hopefully, if it turns out right, with that yogurt. Usually I just eat yogurt as breakfast, snack, and have it with some fruit, but I'm actually going to be using it to do some cooking. Right, I will be back later. Okay, I've done all my jobs and errands and everything. It is now 12 o'clock, it's lunchtime, and I want to get to the allotment, but I'm really hungry because I didn't have breakfast. So I was going to do this for dinner later, which I still will do it for dinner later. but I'll do half of it now. And what I want to be making is some flatbreads. And I love bread. Bread's really easy and quick, you know, and convenient, but I haven't got any bread. I'm not buying any. I might get some from Asda tomorrow. We'll see how this goes. So I'm just going to make some flatbreads really quickly. But when I usually make them, they go really, really hard. And I see people make them and they're soft and fluffy. And apparently what you need to do is add baking powder. So I've got some baking powder. I've got a cup of just normal plain flour in here. And I'm going to put a bit of salt in it. And this is what I want the Greek yoghurt for, to put in there. And, well, Greek style yoghurt. I think you can use natural yoghurt as well. But I'm going to use some of this and put it in. A cup of flour, half a cup of yoghurt. I'm going to put like half a teaspoon of baking powder in there. And I'm just going to give it a mix now. I'm going to add a bit of cold water to it because it's not sticking together. It's quite crumbly still. And what I do is add probably like a tablespoon of water to this because I don't want it too wet. I made it too wet, so I'm just going to add a bit more flour into it, and that's better. And I think another thing as well that I'm doing is I'm making it too dry. So I am going to try and leave it quite squishy. Oh, that feels amazing already. Now then, you can put this in a bowl with a little bit of oil. Put it to the side and let it just rest for as long as you want. But I haven't got that much time today, so I'm going to tidy up. I'm just going to let it rest in that bowl for a minute, see if it rises a little bit while I tidy up. So I've got my frying pan on. I put a bit of oil in it. Put a bit of flour on the worktop because it's still a little bit sticky. And I don't need them massive. I just want it big enough so I can make a bit of a wrap out of it, really. Then last night I made a bit of coleslaw again, but I put carrots, onions, red pepper and celery in here. Got a bit of cheese that I got from, I think this was from Home Bargains, 6th of Feb. So still going, still doing well. I think these would make like a really good naan bread alternative as well. Oh, they are going a bit fluffy, they're rising out. I think I was squashing them down with my spatula. Not good. And there we go, guys, my little flatbread. I pricked it with a fork a bit so it would cook in the middle because I want it to cook a little bit faster. So I put the frozen cheese on it, and because it's quite hot, it melts nearly straight away. I'm going to eat this with a knife and fork because it's still really hot and I need to get to the allotment. Oh, that is loads better than my past ones that I've made because they literally go rock hard like a frisbee. You could smash windows with them. Definitely room for improvement because they are quite doughy, but I think it's because I haven't let it rise. But it tastes really good. Really chuffed with that. I'm going to carry on eating this now because I need to go. But I will be back later when I'm making some more. And hopefully then, because I've given it a little bit time to rise, and I will knead it a bit more to make it fluffier. This tastes really, really good, but it is very, very stodgy. It hasn't gone fluffy, but it hasn't gone rock hard. Thank goodness. And that's hit the spot. Oh, how cheap was that to make? Amazing. Right, I'll be back later, guys. Hi guys, hope you can see me. So I've come up the allotment because it's a lovely, lovely day. But it is really windy. Were we forecast wind? No. But I'll tell you why it is windy is because I put the cover back on my new polytunnel. I knew it would happen. I said to my dad, as soon as I put this cover on, the wind's going to come from nowhere. And ping, here it is. So I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me. I've got a couple of hours up here now. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't got a plan in mind. But one thing I am going to do, because I spotted it the other day when I popped up quickly and I thought, oh, yay! I'm going to show you what's growing. Now then, when my brother moved house, he had a tiny little mint plant and I planted it here in this bed of grass. And I dug a load of it up last year and moved it. But I can still see some. It's like a weed, it is. It grows everywhere. But this is where I planted it. And look, it's come across here, across the path, and there's loads here. So I have bought some boiling water with me and I'm going to make some mint tea. Just going to take the tips off the mint. I got some raspberry there as well. I could make some raspberry leaf tea. So I've got my little strainer and I filled it. Put it on the cup. And I'm just going to leave that now. I was going to start digging the potato bed again, but it's really wet because we've had a lot of rain. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do some weeding. I'm going to cut the old sweet corn plants down because that bed is full of thistles. My plot neighbour had one thistle on their plot and it went to seed. And you can see where it's just blown it all over my bed. And it's growing like crazy. So I'm going to dig that up today. So this is what I'm on about. There's one there. There's loads here. And they have really, really long roots. And if you don't get all the roots out, they just regrow everywhere. Got some here. Loads here. One there and there. Oh, my neighbour's greenhouse is about to take off, so I'm just going to go and rescue that. Okay, so I've pulled all the sweet corn out, and oh gosh, I had about 50 thistles, and I guarantee more will pop up as the season gets going now. But what I've been doing is just going around and digging up some of the bindweed as I see it. But this soil is absolutely gorgeous compared to my new plot. It's amazing, and that's how this plot was when I first took over it. And I know it looks messy and untidy, but that has protected the soil so much. And that will all go in the compost now as brown waste. A few weeds here and there, but I just chuck everything on the compost. The only thing I don't do with these compost bins, I don't empty them on the old plot because I've been composting stuff from the new plot and that has mare's tail in it. So that compost is purely for my new plot. And hopefully it's going to be where the squashes, pumpkins and courgettes go, because I just don't think I gave everything enough food last year. So this year I'm going to really concentrate on giving them lots of food. Look at my comfrey. I'm going to be chopping this down and using it as a fertiliser, and then I let it grow and go to flower because the bees absolutely love it. I've lost a couple of broad beans. I think they've been eaten. Oh, the wind snapped them. One over there as well is gone. Peas are doing fine. Keeping them netted for now. I've got some more growing that will go out there. Onions are doing well, they're starting to come now. 3 rows of potatoes. I need to get down here and do more, but the ground's so wet at the moment, don't want to stand on it. I'm not sure what that is. Might have been a wallflower actually. Could have been a wallflower, yeah. I planted flower seeds all the way down here, but I can't see much at the moment at all. I hope something comes. I think the slugs are just eating everything. Oh, there's one calendula, bit of bindweed. Just pull this up as I see it. Thought I might have seen like a little poppy trying to come up by now, but nothing, just weeds. These here are Egyptian onions. I just stuck them in 1 year and doing really well. Got some rudbeckia coming back here, thank goodness, because I've killed all mine at home, cooked them. Honesty. And then I've put some flower seeds all the way down here. I've used some organic slug pellets because they're just having everything. As soon as anything's going up now, the slugs are eating it. And I'm trying to grow as much as I can at home. There's some calendula there. You see they've had this. There's a load of honesty here as well. Those big ones are fine, but they've had these ones because they're small. That's some kind of sea thistle, I think it is. Like a purple thistle on it. Alliums are coming along nicely now. And lavender's coming back. I thought I killed that. And the tulips. This is like a rudbeckia as well, I think, or echinacea or something, and the slugs absolutely love it. And I forget every year, I think, why is it not growing? And then I look at it and it's just covered in slugs and snails. So I've put some organic slug pellets down there and all around, because they've had the rudbeckia and echinacea as well, just to protect it, just to give it a bit of a chance. Once it grows to a certain height, it's fine, it's great, it'll get going, but it just needs a little. I'm going to dig some of these out this year because they're just getting too much. And look at that, these are my 2 gigantic alliums here, and every year they get annihilated. And there's the culprit. I've already picked about 7 or 8 snails off this. So yeah, he's going to go on his holidays over the fence. I don't like killing slugs and snails, so they just get to go over here in this jungle, chuck them over. It's just a railway down there. My plot neighbours had a fancy new shed. And I'm going to pick some of this rhubarb, because I think if I pick it, it'll grow. But I'll come and do that later when my son's here, because my son absolutely loves picking it. Those leaves. Don't forget, leaves are poisonous, just the stalks. Lovely. I'm going to have loads of currants on this bush. I can't remember, I think that's the red currant. And this is the white currant. I won't have so many on that this year, but I don't mind because I did move it. But it's loads on this one. And when they start coming, I will cover it. All the giant garlic, elephant garlic, sorry, is coming along. Oh, more there. I need to dig all this up. There's some there as well. I've dug loads up already. Those thistles are a pain in the bum. Yeah, so this is my garlic now. Look at all this. The crows have had it all now. I think that's chamomile. I hope it is anyway. Yeah. So we did the garlic and it seems to be getting a bit of a move on now. Don't think it'll come on to much this year, but I'll have a little bit anyway. This is where the carrots usually go, but I think I've got some onions down there. What I'm going to do is just leave it this year and let the calendula grow here. Parsnips, I'll dig them up. Leeks, oh, there's a bit there. I will dig them up soon. I'll leave them in as long as possible because it protects the ground. Those are the Northern Light ones. Look, they're purple. Yeah. Oh, they're quite pretty, aren't they? Yay, guys! Spring is here. Just wish this sunshine would stay now. So I'm back from the allotment now. I'm going to go and pick my son up from school in a minute. What I've done with the rice is I rinsed it, put some more water on it, and I'm just bringing it to the boil now. I let it boil for a couple of minutes and then I've turned it off, and then I just put the lid on it and leave it, and that should be done then by the time we get home from school. I picked some spring onions and some leeks because I remembered the recipe said, you know, spring onions, not leeks, but spring onions. But I thought, oh, I can use some of them in these wraps. So, not bad size, these are the bigger ones. But I never get big leeks anyway. I walk past this plot and every year they grow massive leeks. Like they've got some there now like that. So I've just sown some winter giant leeks, or giant winter leeks, can't remember. So fingers crossed they might be bigger than pencils next year. So I like to trim and cut these leeks at the allotment, you know, cut the green stuff off. Once I get home I slice them up. Just take these ones off there. And they're really clean. They haven't got any dirt around them. Because what I do is I make a big hole in the ground with my dibber and just drop the leek in and then let it fill up on its own. I don't fill this hole back up with soil because that can, you know, make soil then get in between the layers of the leeks and then you get dirty leeks. And one thing, touch wood, we haven't got the allium leaf miner on our allotment, or if we have, I don't get it on my plot, or I haven't done yet. So I never have to like net my onions or garlic or leeks. Very lucky. Some people don't put onions in their compost, but that's never bothered me, I do. So that's the leeks and spring onions all chopped for later. I'll just put these in the fridge now. So I shall be back in a bit when it's time to do dinner. Okay, so the dough is looking gorgeous, and I'm just going to do like small little circles like so. And I'm going to, would help if I turned it on, I'm going to do the bread first and then fry the filling afterwards. So I'm just shaping them into like little dough balls and then I'm rolling it out. So I've got the peppers and the spring onion and the leek frying here in some lard with a bit of butter, and I'm just going to add some black pepper to it. You know what I'm like with recipes, I never stick to them, I use them more as a guideline. I don't waste stuff out most of the time, I just go, I eyeball it. And so I think it says that you can put curry powder in these vegetables, which is great. But I thought what I'm going to do is heat up some curry sauce. So I've got some korma sauce here. Oh, I could use the powdered sauce as well. But I'm going to use the korma sauce for now, and put some of that over it as well, or I'll put it in a pot by the side, so then if anybody wants curry sauce on it, they can have it. This is something my dad doesn't like to eat, so there'll be plenty here for him, but he's decided he wants to try it. But I always make extra anyway, because I like to freeze stuff to save me cooking all the time. But there won't be any spares tonight, so that's fine. Let's turn that down. These are turning out really good. And I think these mini ones are actually turning out better than doing big flatbreads because they're not taking as long to cook. And what I'm going to do is that grated carrot that I froze in bags the other day, is I'm going to add some of that into the peppers and leeks and onions. They look gorgeous. Look at them. How nice are they? And they're not rock hard, they're floppy. Not too doughy. Oh, perfect. Okay, it is all done. I microwaved the curry sauce. I've got the wraps here. Lovely. And I'm going to get some of the rice, put it in the middle of the wrap, like so. Look at that, gorgeous. Put some of the veg on top. Oh, this is so colourful. Can you see how colourful that is? Look how gorgeous it looks. Oh. And then I'm going to put some curry sauce on top. How gorgeous does that look? Oh, yay! So I'm going to plate the recipes up now. We're going to go downstairs to my dad's to eat with him. I just love trying new recipes, and this is so cheap, guys. So cheap. Bit of yogurt, flour, water, rice, any veg you've got. You don't even need the curry sauce. So yeah, oh, super chuffed. Let's hope it tastes as good as it looks. So yeah, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye!